Joe Tate's wedding was meant to be one of the happiest moments of his life in Emmerdale. Instead, it could end up being his final day. The scheming millionaire has been forced to face the consequences of his own actions after business rivals Caleb Milligan and Ruby launched an elaborate revenge plot against their longtime enemy. Their biggest weapons are Joe's bride, Dawn Fletcher, and her former husband, Billy Fletcher. Caleb and Ruby have encouraged Dawn to believe that Joe was responsible for the mysterious attack on Billy. Billy was also quick to suspect Joe, particularly after his recent near kiss with Dawn. However, Joe is not the only person caught in Caleb and Ruby's dangerous scheme. Jimmy King reluctantly handed over his family business to the ruthless pair because he needed the money to secure premium university accommodation for his son. Accepting that there was little he could do, Jimmy once again expressed his love for Nicola King and suggested that they renew their wedding vows. Neither of them could have imagined what was about to happen. As the wedding day arrived, Dawn was caught attempting to flee by Joe's mentor Graham. Desperate to escape, she knocked him unconscious before tying him up inside the stable. At the same time, Caleb accidentally revealed his revenge plan to Joe after becoming furious at how confident and satisfied his enemy appeared. Shocked by what he had discovered, Joe immediately rushed off in search of Dawn. Meanwhile, Graham's warning continued to trouble Dawn. She questioned Billy about how he could be certain Joe was responsible for attacking him when the assault happened from behind. Overcome with guilt, Billy finally confessed that he had lied. A heartbroken Dawn then hurried away to confront Joe at the wedding marquee, but their reunion was interrupted when Jimmy's car suddenly crashed into them. In today's episode, Nicola arrived at the marquee unaware of the disaster unfolding around her. She was horrified to discover Jimmy injured inside the wrecked vehicle. Although Jimmy initially appeared to be okay, his condition gradually deteriorated. The sequence then shifted into a dreamlike scene from Nicola's perspective, as Jimmy imagined the perfect ceremony for their vow renewal. Jimmy declared his love for Nicola one final time before dying in his wife's arms. However, Jimmy might not be the only person who loses his life. With Joe and Dawn trapped in a potentially deadly situation, Joe eventually found it in himself to forgive her betrayal. But as Jimmy's car threatened to burst into flames, Joe told Dawn to escape and protect herself and their unborn baby. Dawn managed to reach safety just as Kim arrived. After freeing himself from the stable, Graham rushed into the burning scene in an attempt to rescue Joe. However, moments later, the entire wedding marquee erupted in a huge explosion. Could this devastating disaster mark the end of Joe Tate? Inside Emmerdale, Jimmy King stars life from actor dad to romance with rarely seen wife. Emmerdale favourite Nick Miles has portrayed Jimmy King on the soap for more than 20 years. The character first appeared on the long-running ITV drama in 2004 and has since become one of its most recognisable and much-loved figures. Over the years, Jimmy has been at the centre of numerous major storylines, from his enduring relationship with Nicola to being involved in a stabbing. His time in the Dales has certainly been filled with dramatic twists. Earlier this year, reports emerged that Jimmy would eventually be written out of the show. That exit has now taken place, with the soap favourite tragically killed when his car crashed into the wedding marquee belonging to Joe Tate and Dawn Taylor. Away from the ITV soap, however, Nick Miles has a very different life from the character he portrayed on screen. Although Nick is best known for his long-running role as Jimmy, his acting career has also taken him to Hollywood. In 2002, he appeared in Martin Scorsese's acclaimed film Gangs of New York, where he played an Atlantic Guard leader. The movie also starred major Hollywood names, including Leonardo DiCaprio and Daniel Day-Lewis. Nick has previously spoken about his experience working alongside Leonardo. He described the actor as being somewhat reserved but friendly and good-natured. The actor recalled having a short conversation with Leonardo in the makeup room and initially wondering whether he should approach him. However, he soon discovered that the Hollywood star was extremely pleasant and welcoming. Away from his professional career, Nick is married to Stephanie Lumb, The couple first crossed paths in 2005 after Nick purchased a flat opposite Stephanie's home in central Leeds. Nick later recalled taking Stephanie for a drink at a local bar, revealing that she initially had no idea he was a television actor. She eventually became accustomed to his career and the unusual demands that came with his work. Their relationship quickly became serious. Around 7 months after they began dating, Nick proposed, but Stephanie initially rejected his offer. Despite that, Nick remained certain that he wanted to spend his life with her. He eventually proposed a second time, and Stephanie accepted. The couple married in December 2006 in Penrith, Cumbria, with only 2 friends present as witnesses. Nick has previously explained that he immediately felt Stephanie was the right person for him, praising her personality and saying that they were a perfect match. The actor was raised in Moseley, Birmingham, and his passion for performing appears to have been influenced by his late father, John Bradney. John was a teacher as well as an important figure in Birmingham's amateur theatre community. He served as both an actor and director for the MDCC Theatre Company, which is known for staging outdoor Shakespeare performances at locations including the city's botanical gardens. Nick has spoken fondly about his father's connection to the gardens, explaining that he performed there every summer and had a deep affection for the venue. In tribute to his father, Nick donated 2 palm trees to the gardens, with his father's ashes placed beneath one of them. He admitted that he was unsure about the legal arrangements surrounding this, but said a gardener kindly helped arrange it while planting the tree. Emmerdale star confirms whether Sarah exits in dark Dr. Todd story. Emmerdale star Katie Hill has revealed what lies ahead for Sarah Sugden as the dramatic Dr. Todd storyline continues. The young character recently fatally pushed the sinister doctor during a confrontation at Charity's home. Sarah and her grandmother Charity are now doing everything possible to hide what really happened. Charity has even decided to take responsibility herself in an attempt to prevent Sarah from facing a prison sentence. Katie has now confirmed that Sarah will remain in the Dales and will not be sent to prison as a result of the storyline. Reflecting on her reaction when she first learned about the dramatic plot, Katie admitted she was initially left speechless. She explained that one of her first thoughts was whether Sarah would end up behind bars, but the producer quickly reassured her that this would not happen. The actress said she was relieved to discover that Sarah would still have her job on the soap, while also feeling grateful that she had been trusted with such a major storyline. Katie described the plot as the biggest storyline she has received so far. She explained that it represents a major transformation for Sarah, taking her from a cheerful young mother enjoying life with Jacob to someone whose world has been permanently changed by a traumatic event. She also discussed the impact Sarah's secret will have on her relationship with Jacob, who remains completely unaware of what has happened. According to Katie, viewers will see Sarah become increasingly distant from Jacob. She will avoid conversations and emotionally shut herself away, leaving Jacob confused because he has no idea why she is behaving so differently. The actress teased that the pair are likely to experience a difficult period in their relationship, as Sarah struggles to cope with everything she has witnessed. Sarah will attempt to explain her unusual behavior by blaming it on the trauma of watching someone die. That explanation will become the reason she gives Jacob whenever he questions her sudden change in personality. Meanwhile, producer Sophie Roper has hinted that Sarah will not escape the consequences of her actions forever. As the storyline progresses, the show will explore the possibility of justice catching up with her from a legal perspective. The drama will also focus on Sarah's own feelings about what happened, including how she views herself afterward and the emotional struggle she faces while attempting to process the trauma. Emmerdale airs on weeknights at 8 p.m. on ITV1, with episodes available to stream from 7 a.m. on ITVX and YouTube.